Harris Rubenstein here alongside Tom Downey. Tom, let's go through the top NFL rumors from the day. Let's start with Aaron Donald. We've got some juicy rumors today, people. Let's start with Aaron Donald. Odell got extended today. Is Aaron Donald next?
Well, it feels like this is like a month now we've been, Aaron Donald is close to a new deal. Well, Pro Football Talk reports that they are on the verge of a deal that will make him the highest paid player in NFL history. Now, we do have some details on the money, which I think adds a little bit of credence to this one. First off, about $22 million per year, $80 million guaranteed at signing. That's the total guaranteed. So actually that's a fair deal for Donald. I thought it could have been upwards of 25. I thought it was going to be 20 because Von Miller's going to count 25 against cap next year. I think 22 per year, yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, there's some sticker shock of putting on $3 million more than what Von Miller makes right now. But Harris, I think if you ignore positional value, Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL right now. Like really? if you ignore the value of a quarterback.
Is he better than Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
Yes.
Really?
Donald dominates.
Donald does dominate.
He's unstoppable at times.
But so is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
That's fair.
That's fair. But I'll also give it to
They're all in the discussion.
Another guy who does dominate as much, maybe a little bit less than Aaron Donald, but still just as good is Khalil Mack. Is he actually getting traded? Please don't trade it to the Jets.
Please don't. The Jets don't have enough to offer him. Please. I would be surprised if Khalil Mack got dealt because the report from Pro Football Talk was, well, they haven't slammed the door on trading Khalil Mack, which is a fancy way of saying they're not going to rule anything out because, well, duh. Like, if you were the Raiders, and I think there's a very small chance they would actually trade Khalil Mack, but if you wouldn't be doing your job as a team if you didn't look at every single option. And if a team says, hey, we'll give you 5 first-round picks for Khalil Mack, which will never happen, but if it did, wouldn't you kind of have to do that?
It is mind-bending.
Isn't that the route that you should actually go there in the end?
It is mind-bending to me that we are at this position with both of these guys.
The Raiders have not done a good job because they haven't actually talked with Khalil Mack. Now, deadlines make deals. Maybe once Donald signs, they'll have a better market price as to what to pay him, around $22 million with about $80 million guaranteed. But I don't think the Raiders have handled this very well, and I think maybe they are a little bit tight on cash flow right now.
I'm a little bit also worried about the Oakland Raiders just for the fact that every single team in the NFL is always striving to have that one elite guy at defense. You know, the Broncos got Von Miller. You know, the Chargers are lucky enough to have 2 of them in Ingram and Bosa. The Raiders have Mack. The Rams have Donald. That is their defensive identity. And the fact that they're not paying these guys is just absolutely outrageous to me. Let's go to our next rumor here. The Jaguars will not pursue Dez Bryant. What do you think about this one, Tom?
Ed Werner says that even though the Jags lost a key receiver, Marquise Lee, they feel good about their current roster, and they won't go try and add Dez Bryant, which, like, okay, but do you really want to trust the receiving core of Keelan Cole, Dante Moncrief, Dede Westbrook, and DJ Chark?
I do. I love Keelan Cole.
Okay.
He's so good. Elite wide receiver, Keelan Cole.
First off, the Cowboys did Dez dirty because I think the Jags would have gladly paid Dez Bryant $10 million than Dante Moncrief $10 million. But I think that was a big issue there for the Jags. I don't expect to see Dez end up there on the
My ultimate wide receiver core is Keelan Cole, Roger Lewis, and Julian Edelman.
That team sucks. That is a bad receiver core.
Where is Dez going to sign, Tom?
I don't know.
It's not going to be the Patriots.
You say that. Cam says that it will happen.
No chance.
I still think it would make some sense there for the Patriots, but I don't know if we'll actually end up seeing Dez go to Jacksonville or New England. I think you could see a team, maybe like the Saints, decide that they don't fully trust their receiving core. Maybe a team like the Titans makes sense, or the Texans as well. But I think Dez will get signed, but at this point it's very strange to have reached, a week and a half, 2 weeks before the season, and Dez Bryant isn't actually all that close to signing with a new NFL team. You think he would have signed by now.
What's really interesting to me is that he's already turned down a $7 million a year deal from the Ravens and also a $5 million a year deal from the Browns. Like, what is he thinking that he's going to get on the open market? Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Tom, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel, the #1 app for daily fantasy.
Yeah, so FanDuel here, FanDuel.com/chatsports. Check them out, folks. If you put down $5, they'll give you a $20 deposit bonus there. You put in $5, you end up with $25 to play with on FanDuel. It's a great deal.
Tom, smart people do smart things. Don't be like the Raiders who do dumb things and not sign Khalil Mack. Use FanDuel today. Use that promo code ChatSports. It'll be the smartest decision you make this week. Let's go to Rainey Gregory, who does not make a lot of smart decisions. Stay off the weed.
You say that. So Jason Lockenfor, who I know how you feel about him,
I do not like Lockenfor.
You don't like him.
His sources are bad.
He tweeted out, like at the end of the Cowboys game last night, that hearing there could be more trouble ahead for Randy Gregory. Hasn't elaborated on it. Just threw it out into the ether and said, hey, this could happen. And then, so a lot of the Cowboys people here in Dallas are very upset because they called JLC to say, hey, can you come on the show to talk about it? And he said, I can't. I've got meetings for the next few weeks.
Which
is bullshit.
I've got meetings. That's him saying, I had a source tell me something that I jumped too quickly on and I don't want to admit it.
So there are two options here. Either two options that are both bad. Either A, La Canfora is wrong and didn't do his job right. B, he's right and this is bad for Randy Gregory. But if you're going to throw something out like that, you got to have some more behind than hearing you could be in trouble. Like, that is way too vague to just throw out there.
It's so weak.
That's bad journalism.
Especially with all the issues that Randy Gregory has had. And also with, I don't want to say relying on, but he's an important player for the Cowboys.
They've made him a starter.
Yeah,
so,
he's important.
Look, I haven't heard anything on Randy himself, and the Cowboys have heard nothing on it. And if the Cowboys thought he was going to get in trouble again, they wouldn't have made him a starter. They've already done that. They've moved Crawford back to DT. Gregory is now your right defensive end starter. So I don't want to call it fake news because it could be true and I just haven't heard about it, but you got to have more than just hearing there could be more trouble ahead and then not responding to anything else there in the end.
Not a fan of locking for and throwing out random stories. Let's go to Carson Wentz. I talked about this morning on the Cam Rogers show. Not been cleared for contact yet, Tom. Probably means at this point he's going to miss week 1.
I am not as convinced because once he's cleared for contact, it's not like there's I have another big step to go. Mm-hmm. So I think for Wentz, he's been cleared for 11 on 11. Once he's cleared for contact, he's pretty much good to go at that point. So my actually biggest issue here, Harris, is that Nick Foles, he won the Super Bowl. He's looked bad.
He's looked very bad.
Looked like Rams Nick Foles. Mm-hmm. That's a problem for Philadelphia. Maybe they should have traded him for a second-round pick. So I am not going to rule out Wentz starting in week 1, but I agree with your mindset. You should be cautious anyway.
And hey, do you know what? If Nick Foles sucks, it's okay because you have Nate Studfeld, baby. My favorite backup quarterback in the NFL, along with Joe Callahan and Christian Hackenberg. That's a great quarterback room right there. Speaking of quarterbacks, you know who could use one? The Oakland Raiders. John Gruden does not like his current backup quarterbacks, saying that Connor Cook and E.J. Manuel have been very inconsistent. What, I mean, you're really going to find something better on the open market, or they'll bring in Cardale Jones? Not great.
Look, they'll do their job and look into it, but yeah, it's tough to find competent backup quarterbacks in the NFL that you aren't going to trade away a 4th-round pick for, maybe like a Teddy Bridgewater. So Derek Carr is your clear-cut starter. Carr and Manuel haven't looked that great. They haven't been that great for their entire NFL career, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
We saw who Connor Cook was.
Better hope Derek Carr doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, we saw who Connor Cook was.
Of course, he was not set up for any type of success either.
No, it was just absolutely terrible. Tom, do you know what isn't terrible? Man, FanDuel. FanDuel's amazing.
All right, new offer here for you guys on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/chatsports. You put down $5, you'll get a free 20 when you sign up and deposit. So you put in $5, $25 to play with on FanDuel. That's a win-win right there.
I didn't take a single math class in college, but even I understand how great of a deal that is. Use FanDuel today.
You didn't take math?
I did not take a single math class at Emerson College. I did not. I was an ace at math in high school. Didn't need it. I'm also an ace at DFS. Mind you, we're gonna have weekly leagues on FanDuel. You can sign up with any of ours. So be on the lookout for all of our great FanDuel leagues we have this year for you guys. All right, let's go to our next rumor here. Golden Tate, is he going to the Patriots? I love this. This would be great.
Okay, so stop it. Mike Reese put together this article on his own site and it was like, I would go try and trade for Golden Tate. And I'd offer Landon Roberts and Malcolm Brown for Golden Tate. And he threw in, something tells me Lions fans are telling me I'm not realistic. Oh, but Tate's in a contract year. And that makes it okay to offer a crap package for one of the premier NFL receivers. And I love Golden Tate, by the way.
I do too. I think he's great.
He's a fantastic player.
Super underrated.
He's maybe not a top 5, top 10 guy, but he is a top 30, number 1 type receiver. This is a garbage offer.
All this jargon.
This is crap.
By the way, I don't like this trade either. I do love Mike Reese. Mike Reese, you are very near and dear to my heart. You are very special to me. However, this is a really bad trade. I will also say this.
Package.
I have been told by multiple people that Marvin Jones is a better wide receiver than Golden Tate. And I want to straight up tell those people, you are wrong.
Marvin provides more big plays. I trust Golden Tate more, though.
I think that Golden Tate
in reality, low-key, this is the Demaryius Thomas versus Emmanuel Sanders argument.
Yeah, it really is.
And I have always been on the Emmanuel Sanders side, even though I'm a crazy person.
I'm an Emmanuel Sanders guy too, but look, if Logan Ryan can crush Demaryius Thomas.
The Lions say no. They hang up the phone. You say, oh, you want to give us a crappy linebacker and an average defensive tackle for a really good receiver?
Above average defensive line.
No.
Above average to you,
Fine.
sir.
They still say no.
Atlanta Roberts is really bad, though. Let's go to Demaryius Thomas. Is he actually going to get traded? Mike, it sounds like Mike Flores is just kind of talking out of his butt.
That was the takeaway, that he was like, he based it that there was a weird sense coming out of Denver. I have a weird sense about my dinner tonight. I'm talking out of my butt is basically what he said. It didn't make any sense. Like, now next year, next year it makes sense. Now, yeah, you can say $8.5 million becomes almost, I think it's double-digit millions next year if you end up cutting Demaryius Thomas. But Denver's trying to win right now. That's why they signed Case Keenum. Why would you get rid of Demaryius Thomas to save $8.5 million? And if you were going to save money, you wouldn't have cut Malik Watson.
It's true.
Nothing makes sense. Now, down the road next year, I don't think DT will be back on the roster. But come on, this is just stupid. I think there is nothing to this whatsoever.
I don't either. I think Demaryius Thomas is going to end up staying with the Denver Broncos. Go to yourself and buy yourself a Mizzen and Main shirt today. Head to comfortable.af to get the most comfortable dress shirts that you will find anywhere on the internet. They got button downs, they got long sleeve t-shirts, they got hats, they got everything that you could want. JJ Watt loves them, Mike Trout loves them, but even Tom Downey loves them.
I do indeed.
There
Great
you go.
shirt.